minutes to 9.
Now, Donald Trump has become only the third president in American history to be impeached. The House of Representatives, controlled by the opposition Democrats, voted to send him for trial on charges that he abused his power for personal gain. Mr. Trump has described the impeachment as a hoax and a disgrace. Well, Erol Morkoc is from Republicans Overseas Scotland and joins us. Morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Do you agree with President Trump that this is a disgrace?
Oh, beyond it being a disgrace, this isn't a vote for impeachment. This is a vote because the Democrats lost. To quote Nancy Pelosi, this is a sad day for America, but it's a sad day because a sophomoric group of malicious malcontents have taken a once proud political party and turned it into a complete charade. Now let's see if this chamber can put down their swords and go back to work for the American people after this. This is a venerable institution that passes legislations that matter. The American perpetual goal of making a more perfect union has been totally lost in the Democrat Party. And, the removal of a sitting president must not be the culmination of partisan processes fueled by tribal animosities that have already gravely divided our society.
So, some members of Congress have floated the idea that maybe some sort of censure of the president, something short of impeachment, might find support here, though.
Yes, absolutely. The biggest mistake the Democrat Party had was that Nancy Pelosi essentially, and I hate to say it, was taken hostage by her own party. And if they had censured him, it would have created a situation where Republican legislative members would have had to condone everything he did, regardless if it was quid pro quo, high crimes and misdemeanor, and it would have optically played a lot better. What they've done here is played right into the 2020 election campaign. They don't just hate Donald Trump. They hate the 63 million Americans who put him in office, the forgotten men and women of this country that Washington left behind.
So what do you think it will polarize the race even more?
It'll polarize the race even more, but if you look at what happened with the approval numbers during the afterwards, his approval numbers are up. More importantly, during the inquiry, support for the inquiry collapsed, especially on viewer figures. You could say you had 1 million people watch the first day, and by day 3, it was like 50,000 people. I mean, those aren't the real numbers, but just for context. So this is going to galvanize his base. It's going to really bring out moderates. It's going to bring out the adults in the room who are saying, like, this is not how we conduct the greatest republic, the leader of the nation that leads the free world. This is not the example we want to be presenting to our allies, friends, and those we want to bring over to our way of life.
Yeah, but these are serious charges against him. And I mean, if you followed, the inquiry, there was some very, strong points made that the president, acted beyond his power.
Well, it's no secret that Donald Trump knew he could not ask for quid pro quo. That doesn't mean it wasn't in his purview to make sure that corruption didn't occur before he released $400 million of aid. Keep in mind, in 2009, President Obama turned his back on the Ukraine. In March of 2016, Hillary Clinton went to Russia with that stupid reset button and essentially gave a green light to invade the Ukraine after they already knew nothing about the invasion of Georgia. And that's a travesty. They sent blankets and rations. Well, President Trump sent over $400 million of lethal aid and put the toughest sanctions possible in Iran. Now, it's not illegal to want something. It's illegal to ask for quid pro quo. Me and every single one of Donald Trump's supporters wanted to see the corruption that we suspect occurred with Hunter Biden and Burisma.
And you feel you didn't see that?
No, we feel like that wasn't allowed. And when we tried to, work with President Zelensky, who was elected almost as an anti-corruption person, almost the most dynamic, interesting international figure. On top of that, I mean, the idea that that the president of the Ukraine is being dictated by the U.S. president, that's disrespectful to our ally.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. That's Erol Morkoc there from Republicans Overseas Scotland. 4 minutes to 9.